What the deal, YouTube? I'm not gonna look at the camera the whole time while I'm driving. Yeah, I am actually driving right now. But hey, I just want to let everybody know, all my subscribers, that I'm still here. And yeah, I'm still rolling. Right now, I'm rolling in my van though, because I just recently quit my job. There's a situation going on here. Okay, let me fill y'all in on what happened, right? So I am potentially a victim of identity theft. This past Sunday, actually this past Saturday, I was in the process of leaving my company, quitting my company, and my plan was to stay inside the truck for the weekend. Tell them like, hey, look, I just need a break. I'm gonna be, staying in the truck for the weekend, blah blah blah, and then I'll go back out on Monday. But I already knew what I was gonna do. I was planning on quitting. I was gonna leave because they don't pay me enough for the time that I invest to do what I do, and to jeopardize my life and put my license on the line, essentially, and stuff like that. So I'm like, yo, 47 cents a mile, it's not gonna cut it. I have 4 years of driving experience, stuff like that. So I pull up at my yard, I park right next to my van, right next to my camper. I'm in traffic right now too. Y'all can see the traffic. Here go the traffic right here. Y'all can see all this traffic. So I pull up and I park right next to my van with the truck, and I start pulling all my stuff out of my truck. And came down to this one bag. There's one duffel bag. Not even really a duffel bag, because it's not really shaped like a duffel bag, but it's like a luggage, like a cargo type bag, one of those. But it's a very durable bag that I've had for quite some time now. And at that particular time, it has some really important documents in it. Documents, I'm talking about like my passport, have my birth certificate in there, social security card, taxes from years ago, pieces of mail, items of mail, like old mail, like documents that I've had for years inside of that bag. I mean, those documents were inside of a bag that were in that bag, but that's not the point. So as I'm getting all my stuff out of the truck, putting all my stuff back inside my van and stuff like that, and there was that one bag that I'm talking about right now that was on the opposite side of the truck. It was on the driver's side, because I was taking out all of my, y'all want to see the road? I mean, y'all can probably see the road through my glasses. Anyway, so I was taking out all my stuff, and that particular bag was the only bag that was on the driver's side of the truck. So it did cross my mind. I'm like, yo, make sure you don't forget that bag, because, I mean, no matter what was inside that bag, I still wouldn't have wanted to forget the bag. So, make a long story short, it was about 11 something at night this past Saturday that I was doing all this stuff, and I pulled out, and I'm like, yeah, I got that bag. I'm backing out of the parking lot, and I'm at the park in the main yard where all the trucks are, and continue on with my night, because I already knew what I was going to do. And I thought to myself, I put that bag back inside the van, and I didn't double check, because I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I did that. Like, why would I not do that? Because that's how I move. That's how I move. Like, I'm not one to allow things like that to slip through the cracks. Usually, apparently I am. Apparently I've been slipping. Apparently I'm slipping right now. But things like that don't just happen. So 2 days goes by. 2 days goes by. Here it is, Monday, and I continued on, and it rained and stuff like that too. I continued on with my plan And I was, because I already have another job lined up that's going to pay me, you know, more money than what I was getting paid throughout the course of this past month with this particular company that I've been with. So Monday rolls up, and I let my company know, like, hey, look, you know, I am leaving. I'm leaving the company. I quit, basically. I quit. And thank you for the opportunity, stuff like that. I cleaned the truck out, and, you know, y'all truck is parked right there in the yard and stuff like that. So, you know, everything was all said and done, and, you know, they were sad to see me leave, and they didn't know what was going on. I was like, you know, I felt disrespected since I've been here, and y'all don't pay me enough. Like, I'm undercompensated for the amount of work that I'm doing, you know. So I leave in my van with my camper, and I go to a Pilot Flying J truck stop. Again, I'm about to go here, go take a shower. I might spend the night there, and then in the morning I'll leave, and I will go to my new company, or, you know, go to the truck, get the truck, you know, and continue on my life, essentially. Because this is me taking responsibility for myself. If you got a job and you know that the job is not gonna, you know, benefit you in the way that you are looking to be benefited, you know, if the job doesn't pay you enough, then it's your responsibility to make the necessary moves for your own life. That's what in my head, this is just all I'm doing. Very innocent thing to do. Like, I'm not, you know. Anyway, so I go to the Pilot Flying J. No problem. Get the shower. Come back out the shower. Go to the van. And something told me, like, something popped in my head about that bag. I'm like, wait, you know, I need that. There's something about that bag. Like, I need that bag. Where's that bag? And I'm looking all throughout the van, like looking all throughout my van. And I know I didn't put it in a camper because that night I never moved the van. And the van was parked so close to the camper to the point where you wouldn't even be able to fully open the door to even fit the bag inside the camper, because that's how close I purposely parked my van to the camper while I wasn't there and while I was on the road, to make sure no thieves got into my camper or try to steal anything, you know, whatever. So I know it wasn't in the camper. I'm looking all throughout the van, all throughout the van, all throughout the van. I'm like, oh man. And mind you, I just quit my job. Like, I just quit from this job. So once I realized that the bag was not where it needed to be, and I'm racking my brain like, yo, what was in that bag? Yo, I don't even know what was in that bag. I don't even know what was in that bag. Like, you know, like, I didn't take a mental inventory of everything inside the bag, but I know for sure that those documents were in fact inside the bag, because I've looked everywhere else and those documents are not anywhere else, and they were only inside of that bag. Okay, and there are a bunch of miscellaneous other items inside the bag that I'm not concerned about. I'm mainly concerned about the documents that were inside the bag. Social Security card, birth certificate, passport, taxes from years ago, other information, like other information, just information. You know, my information though. So, you know, alright. So, I'm making this video to say this because I had to get the cops involved. I at least have what you call it here? I can have an official what do you call that? Incident report from the North District, Indianapolis Police Department. So I have a police record. That's a start. However, they saw the cameras, and apparently, and now I'm about to get into what I really want to talk about. We're about 9 minutes and 30 seconds in. So the police report showed that the bag I did in fact pull out from the parking spot, and the way that I pulled out, the hood of the truck, I'm in a semi truck, you know, sits up very high, very big hood. The hood of the truck basically covered the bag to the point where if I looked over the truck, I wouldn't even have seen the bag pulling out. So, quite naturally, I thought I grabbed the bag. I didn't grab the bag. So I parked and I didn't even think twice about it because I didn't see the bag. I didn't see it. I didn't see it. Okay. So I'm cool with one of the dispatchers at my company, and I told her about it, and she said she would look at the cameras for me. So after she looked at the cameras, it was deemed that the bag did in fact sit out in the parking lot where I had left it accidentally all the way up until Sunday morning. Mind you, this was Saturday night when I first initially pulled in there. So the bag did in fact sit out there even in the rain. The bag sit out there in the rain all the way up until Sunday morning. Sunday morning rolled around, and then around 10 to 11 a.m. Sunday morning, apparently a black vehicle, sedan, she said she thought it was like a Nissan Maxima or Nissan Altima or something like that, pulls up, and they sat next to the bag in their vehicle, but they parked right next to the bag, and they stayed there for about 8 minutes. About 8 minutes, they stayed there right next to the bag, right? My bag. Okay. And then somebody hopped out, a white male, Caucasian male, got out of the passenger side of the black vehicle that was seen on camera and grabbed the bag and got back in the car. Grabbed the bag, I guess he threw it over his shoulder or whatever, and got back in the vehicle. Then they parked about 3 or 4 spaces to the left of where this crime just took place, on the opposite side of some white Jeep that was over there. It was a white Jeep, and they parked on the opposite side of the white Jeep. Now, there are cameras in the parking lot. However, there was not a camera right there behind them on the building. You know, they were parked right behind the building or whatever, or right in front of the building, my company, and there was no camera there. But there were, in fact, cameras inside the parking lot. That's red flag number 1, because we don't know who these people are at this point, right? So through further investigation, they sat there in that parking spot for 30 minutes, half hour, I guess, I'm assuming that they were just searching through all my stuff. They were looking through the bag and all that, you know, totally just violating my personal space and my life. Now, I'm a very secretive person. I'm not just openly just disgusting my life with people. I don't just do that, you know. That's kind of another video, but it's not really another video. It's kind of this video, you know. It does relate to this video anyway. So apparently they sat there for like a half hour doing whatever they was doing, right? And then they pulled off, and then they came back about 10 or 12 minutes later apparently, and then parked in the same spot, and then they left again after that. Did not leave the bag though. Didn't leave the bag. Okay, so my dispatcher, she saw this video footage, and she let me know what she saw, and this is what she saw. What I just described. However, based on, she concluded that how they were maneuvering in and out of the parking lot, how they were so comfortably sitting inside the parking lot, how they first pulled up, how they exited, and all that, had to be one of the drivers that took the bag. Somebody that was familiar with the parking lot, that was comfortable with the parking lot, and things of that nature. So I was like, yo, I'm getting the cops involved. You know, cops, they get there, they give me this slip that I just showed and all that, and then they're just like, yeah, well, you know, you got to get in contact with a detective, and you got to have somebody come and look at the video and stuff like this. And you know, it's just this whole process. Mind you, I got another job lined up and everything. You know, I'm thinking that I'm just going to be leaving and going on to my new company, making way more money, and everything is about to be good. But no, apparently I'm having an issue with my identity. there's an identity situation here that I have to take care of. Because, like, again, birth certificate, passport. I don't even want to keep saying it because it's just so sickening. It's so sickening to even think that someone would literally have, like, they would steal a bag, and then your whole life, someone's whole life is basically in that bag, right? And then, you know, they don't take the necessary actions, or they still continue on and proceed with the theft. So I say all that really to say this. Now, considering I know somebody that has an idea who this person is, could I further engage in conversation, get this person's information, find out exactly who this person is, and then take matters into my own hands? Absolutely. I could definitely do that. No problem. I could definitely do that. You know, if I want to sit around in Indianapolis, I'll wind up sitting around in a jail cell. Sit around in a jail cell. You know. So, I'm not going to go that route. Now, my thing is this. Considering how, and I'm not about to, everything I'm about to say right now, I want y'all to know, listen, everything I'm about to say right now, I am not justifying this man's actions. I am not justifying their actions. I'm not saying that this is right. I'm not saying that it's a good thing to do. I'm not saying that this is a form of, you know, whatever, playing God and stuff like that, based on what I'm about to say. What I'm about to say is this. That's my identity. So, people talk about, oh, you know, your ego, you got to get rid of your ego and all this, you know, the very things that make you got to get rid of that, you know, because I'm a very spiritual person in my own regard, in my own way. Very spiritual, right? So, for me to sit here and have all of the personal documents that basically are proof that I am what they say I am on paper. You know, the very documents that basically make your world go around. Driver's license, you know, things like that, you know, the very things that make your life go around. You know, all the different credentials that you have to, you know, submit when you're getting a new job and all that. I've lost those documents. You know, am I gonna obtain those documents again? Yeah.
In 2 miles, use the right 2 lanes to take exit 4 for Indiana 37 South.
Over time, absolutely, I'm going to obtain those documents again. Still doesn't make it right. I feel like, you know, for that to be the case, it's connected me to this world way less. Like, I feel less connected to the world now that I've lost those documents. And a lot of people, you know, their whole life would crumble if they were to lose, you know, these things that I'm talking about. You know, and a part of my life did crumble. I've lost a part of myself, for sure. Was it a part of my soul? No, it's not a part of my soul. You know, like the name that's on the birth certificate, the name that's on the passport, the name. All these names that we have, I've always said, you know, when it comes to names and stuff like that, like names really don't mean much of anything. You know, names don't mean much. That is in fact another video though. I'll make that another video. And hey, again, I apologize. I know I disappeared for a minute.
In a 1/4 mile, use the right 2 lanes to take exit 4 for Indiana 37 South.
I just wanted to see what was going on. Just wanted to see what was going on with this truck company, you know, right now. Like, I'm just trying to take care of my life right now and stuff like that. And I made a big mistake.
Use the right 2 lanes to take exit 4, then keep left at the fork.
I made a big mistake, and usually I'm pretty swift about things like this. So things like this don't...
Keep left at the fork, then turn left onto South Harding Street.
You know, usually I think I might stop at this Pilot Flying J and take a shower, do something. I know there's something I gotta do with this Pilot Flying J. I'm about to stop here real quick. Maybe get some ice or something. Anything. I can do anything right now because I'm on my own time.
Turn left onto South Harding Street.
That's another thing, you know, when you quit your job, but you still have a means of transportation, you still have a means of taking care of yourself, you have a way to do all these things for yourself, you're on your own time. You know, you're not on anyone else's time, and it feels good not to be on anyone.
Merge onto South Harding Street, then make a U-turn.
It really does. Like,
make a U-turn.
It feels good not to be on anyone else's time and stuff like that. It really does. You know, I got a New Jersey license plate. So yeah, anyway, I like to be on my own time. You know, I never plan on driving trucks forever. I'm going on a tangent, and I apologize about that. Oh, this is the same Pilot Flying J that I was at yesterday. Look at this.
Turn right towards South Harding Street, then turn left.
This is literally the same. I didn't realize that. I thought I drove further than that.
In 400 feet, turn left towards South Harding Street.
Oh man. Now maybe I don't want to take a shower here. Because I was just here taking a shower yesterday. Maybe I don't want to take a shower here right now. Huh. Maybe I'll just get back on the road, or maybe I'll just sit here and just finish this video real quick. So that's where I'm at right now. That's where I'm at right now. You know, I've been going through it in my brain. Like I said, I've lost a part of myself that I've been protecting, that I've been holding on to for a very long time. You know, and I've already gone through the necessary steps. I'm not even going to speak more on that, you know, but I'm doing my research, I'm doing what I gotta do, stuff like that, and that's all I'm going to say about that, you know, because it pays to know. And so anyway, it has violated my personal space, and I'm a very personal person. Like, I keep my space very sacred. I like time to myself. I like to be alone. I like to not have to depend on any person, and I like the sense of mystery that I keep about myself. And all of that has gone out the window. There's some creepy ass white dude looking at all my shit right now, or that has access to all my shit right now, you know, and that's just their nature. I'm not saying that that's their nature, but that's human nature. That's other humans' nature to be in other humans' business, because they ain't got shit going on for themselves. Just scum, low life, anything that you could possibly think to call another human being that is just worthless. That's the type of energy that person is obviously in, you know. And not for nothing, a lot of people have wanted to be me. A lot of people want to be me. A lot of people want to be me. I ain't gonna lie. You know, apparently this dude, you know, he's a whatever. So I just wanted to hop on here and share that with y'all. You know, I just wanted to hop on that and share that with y'all. Indianapolis, not the place for me. It's a very lowly area, very lowly, very, you know, broken environment that I was just in. And I didn't see how, I mean, I did, but I didn't really pay attention to it as much when I was in the truck. But for the past, you know, day or so that I've been driving around in my own personal vehicle, and I've been able to kind of venture out a little bit, I see just how lowly this, I mean, I just, you know, I'm not even going to say it on camera. I'm not even going to sit here and put that on YouTube. I ain't going to say nothing. But anyway, that's not important. because I'm safe now. But what I'm saying is it's real. It's real. I went through some real shit, and I'm still going through some real shit, and I'm gonna have to, you know. But that side of me, that part of me, those documents, I don't have those physical documents to protect anymore. And I have to honestly say, a part of me, I mean, I feel good about it, you know, because I can still go out here and make money. It's not going to stop me from going out and making money. It's not going to stop me from going out and buying, you know, different things I want to buy and stuff like that. It's not going to affect my credit. You know, it's not going to affect my credit. Things like that. So, like, I mean, I'm still going to be all right. But it's just that humiliation, the violation of your life, the embarrassment that you receive from other people knowing what just happened to you. Like, yo, bro, how could you allow that to even happen? Like, how you gonna sit here and just leave your, you know, your whole information just out there like that? And there's more than I can say about that, because people just leave their information out there like that on a regular basis, but not how I just did it, you know. And it is what it is, man. Like, it just happened. I can't change it now. Can't go back in the past. I can only go forward. You know, moving forward, though, I now know that even if I lost the very identity that has been given to me, because I didn't choose this identity, right? Maybe I did. I don't know how it really works. But, you know, for the most part, it was given to me. Somebody had to name me what they named me. You know, I was born into the last name that I have. You know, stuff like that. Even if I lost that, would I still be okay? That's the thing. That's what you gotta ask. That's what you have to ask yourself. Would I still be okay if, you know, alright, a weird dude got me under a microscope, got my whole life right there in his hands, his clammy, crummy, creepy hands. You know, that was like a kidnapping. He basically just kidnapped my life. Dude, you just kidnapped my life. You just stole, you know, someone's life. You just stole a life. So that was kidnapping, basically. Would I still be okay? Would I still be able to manage without this identity that I've kept up for so long? Not even an ego that I've kept up for so long, just an identity. Because when people say, oh, do you have ID? What do you do? What's the first thing you think about? You think about your driver's license, right? You think about your driver's license. You think about your birth certificate. If you're trying to apply for a loan, or if you're trying to, you know, do something, you know, important that requires your birth certificate to be on file, or, you know, if you're not going to use your birth certificate, you use your passport. These are the things that people identify themselves with. These are the things that people ID with. These are forms of ID. And I've lost these forms of ID. Now, I have my driver's license. I do. I have my driver's license. It just so happened to be right here in my wallet. You know, I keep my driver's license in my wallet. I wouldn't have put it with those other things, because this driver's license is something I use way more than I use those other things. Think about it. How often do you use your birth certificate? How often do you use your passport? If you're not traveling out of the country on a regular basis, you're not using your passport on a regular basis anyway. If you lost your identity, would you still be okay? Would you still be able to manage? That's what this all really comes down to. For me, anyway. This is how I'm processing it right here, right now, without losing my mind. Because I'm about to leave the state of Indianapolis. And I still don't feel like I've gotten much resolve, like, you know, regarding this situation. Like, I don't feel like I've gotten this resolved at all. Like, this is still unresolved. However, my initial intent was to find a better paying job. And that is still in the works. And I'm still going to proceed towards that. Despite everything that I've just explained to you. Despite what just happened to me. I'm still going to be moving forward towards that. So, am I still going to be okay losing this identity? Losing my identity? Because, let's face it, people. If you die, whatever your name is, Barbara Smith, Barbara Johnson, whatever, okay, you know, I'm just using that as an example, you know. I'm saying, if you died today, Barbara Smith, Barbara Johnson, that's gone. Your birth certificate, driver's license, all that important stuff that we thought was important, that's all gone. Well, it's not gone, but it's here on Earth, and it's no longer reflecting you anymore at that point. So I guess I just died 2 days ago, but I'm still here. Like, I haven't died in the physical, but I just died in the physical. That's deep, ain't it? That's deep. That's deep. Like, I haven't died in the physical, but I've just died in the physical. You know? What if I might want to say that. You know? Like, that's real though. So, because, yeah, all these things that we make to be so important in the life, once you make that transition over that line, once you step over that line, those things used to be important to you. Those things used to be applied to you. Those things used to represent you. Those things don't represent you anymore. You know? And there's still this very nasty energy behind it because it's in someone else's hands. Ew, you're just disgusting. Loser, scumbag, lowlife, son of a fucking slug. Nah, maybe you're not son of a slug. You son of a roach. You just dirty, disgusting, loser, lowlife. Crap. You're just trash.